Hey everyone, in this video, we're going to go over how we used the year that somebody graduated college in order to 4x the response rates that we were getting on campaigns. The company that we were working with here helps high net worth individuals invest into off-market real estate deals. And so already from the get-go, this is a very tough email campaign to get working because there's a lot of spam words associated with this industry. And then there's also a very low level of trust associated with this industry. So we found a campaign that was working. It was on autopilot. We were doing pretty well. And then they asked us, how would we increase this? How could we make it more personal to these people? And I was thinking, what we could do is we could take the year that somebody graduated college and then relate that to a financial crisis that was happening that year, and then possibly talk about how things, people thought it was crazy back then, but it's really not that crazy. And we're seeing a lot of those similar things happening today. And we decided to run with it, and we got an awesome, awesome response rate from it. And so basically, this is just our data that you see in our Clay table. Nothing special happening here. If you don't know, this is using a company called Clay.com. Just verifying emails. If we don't find the email, we find their work email using the Clay integration. Here, we're just normalizing their company name so that we could use it in the outreach. Super, super easy. But here is the interesting part. Here is if we have a valid email address, we are running their LinkedIn profile to find the year that they graduated college, and then I'm formatting that correctly. Then I use ScoreRow and Clay to be able to give a score depending on what year that they graduated college. And so the setup precisely looks like this. Oh, yep, here it is. We'll take the year, and then we say between 1975 to 1980, it gets a score of 1. If it's between 1981 and 1985, it gets a score of 2. And we just keep doing all of these betweens for all of the lines that we've written. And then you'll see we get these scores. So we didn't write a score for 72, so there's no score over here. We didn't write a score for, say, 2013, so there's no line over here. So then you could see we normalized the year because I didn't want to reach out to people and say, saw you graduate in 1966. I just wanted to say, saw you graduated in 66. And then you can see our first line. So here we used the AI formula generator in Clay in order to build this. And this would be probably a basic JavaScript for somebody who knows what they're doing. But with the AI formula generator, we were able to write this. And here was our input. Basically, it was just a bunch of if statements. If the score contains this, say this. If the score contains this, say this. If the score contains this, say this. And then we keep going with everything. And so now we were able to personalize each person based off of the amount, based off of a historical event, right? We're bringing up their nostalgia. Saw you graduated in 87. So I was scrolling on LinkedIn. It's noticed you graduated in 87. Hold on, let's find the 87 one. Do you remember the Japanese asset bubble? Every news outlet had people convinced Japan was going to take over America before that. That was historically what people thought was going to happen. That was on the news everywhere. And so then we have a second line here. Hold on, let's bring this up. Anyway, reason for my email is we're running an event with our current investors on how to thrive despite the current environments, despite the news cycle, right? Because in Japan, the news cycle is crazy. There's still plenty of opportunity for those that are looking. And then we explain a little bit more about the event, what we're going to cover on the event, and see if they're interested. Here, we just add a fun, I love these. These will probably run out pretty soon, and I post a YouTube video about it, and more people are probably going to take this. We also, if we had a valid email address for the person, and we had the first line and the second line, we also found a restaurant in their area so that we could, call out, and we made this PS line like, notice you're based in the Baltimore area. Whoops, it's not showing right now. Notice you're based in the Baltimore area. Have you ever tried Caribbean Heat? I've heard really good things about it. And so that's basically what would happen. So now here is the awesome part. If it wasn't awesome up until this point. What we also did is we set up 2 campaigns. Like I said, we already have a campaign that's working, and we wanted to try this college play. And so what we did is we integrated our Smart Lead account that if we had the information sufficient enough that we needed to run the college play, they'd get run and put into the college play. And so basically we're checking, do we have a first line? Do we have a second line? Do we have the year? Do we have the year that they graduated college? If we don't have that information, it's still a valid email address, and we still have another campaign that's working. And so basically it would just flip-flop in between these campaigns. And so if it was a good prospect to reach out to with our college play, that's what we did. And if it was a good prospect to reach out to for our event invitation, that's what we did there. And so at a high level, this is how we put together this campaign. Lots of fun putting this campaign together. The best part about this is from a management standpoint, all we need to do is import data. We just need to grab a new CSV of contacts to reach out to, and then we can just let it rip. And all of these campaigns are completely done. We would just import this CSV. It'll fill out all of this information completely automatically, and then it would be good to go. So yeah, hope you enjoy.